and welcome to another ASMR video with yours truly. I'm going to be reading the next few stories in the Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. The first story we'll be reading is Yggdrasil and the Nine Realms. The ash tree Yggdrasil is a mighty ash tree, the most perfect and beautiful of all trees, also the largest. It grows between the 9 worlds and joins them, each to each. It is the biggest of all the trees there are, and the finest. The tops of its branches are above the sky. It is so large that the roots of the ash are in 3 worlds, and it is fed by 3 wells. The first root and the deepest goes into the underworld to Nilfheim, the place that existed before other places. In the center of the dark world is the ever-churning spring Hvergelmir, so loud it sounds like a roaring kettle. The dragon Nidog lives in these waters, and it is always gnawing at the root from below. The second root goes to the realm of the frost giants, to the well that belongs to Mimir. There is an eagle who waits at the highest branches of the world tree and knows many things, and a hawk who perches between the eagle's eyes. A squirrel, Ratatosk, lives in the branches of the world tree. It takes gossip and messages from Nidog, the dread corpse eater, to the eagle and back again. The squirrel tells lies to both of them and takes joy in provoking anger. 4 stags who graze on the huge branches of the world tree, devouring the foliage and the bark. There are uncountable snakes at the base of the tree, biting at the roots. The world tree can be climbed. It is from this tree that Odin hung himself in sacrifice, making the world tree a gallows and himself the gallows god. The gods do not climb the world tree. They travel between the worlds using Bifrost, the rainbow bridge. Only the gods can travel on the rainbow. It would burn the feet of any frost giants or trolls who attempted to clamber up to it to reach Asgard. These are the 9 worlds. Asgard, the home of the Aesir. This is where Odin makes his home. Alfheim, where the light elves live. The light elves are as beautiful as the sun or the stars. Nidalvellir, which is sometimes called Svartalfheim, where the dwarves, who are also known as dark elves, live beneath the mountains and build their remarkable creations. Midgard, which is the world of women and men, the world in which we make our home. Jotunheim, where the frost giants and the mountain giants wander and live and have their halls. Vanaheim, where the Vanir live. The Aesir and the Vanir are gods united by peace treaties, and many Vanir gods live in Asgard with the Aesir. Nilfheim, the dark mist world. Muspel, the world of flame, where Sutir waits, and is the place named after its ruler, Hell, where the dead go who did not die bravely in battle. The last root of the world tree goes to a spring in the home of the gods, to Asgard, where the Aesir make their home. Each day the gods hold their council here, and it is here they will gather in the last days of the world before they set out for the final battle of Ragnarok. It is called the Well of Urd. There are 3 sisters, the Norns, who are wise maidens. They tend the well and make sure that the roots of Yggdrasil are covered with mud and cared for. The well belongs to Urd. She is fate and destiny. She is your past. With her are Verdandi. Her name means becoming, and hers is the present, and Skuld, whose name means that which is intended, and her domain is the future. The Norns will decide what happens in your life. There are other Norns, not just those 3. The giant Norns and elf Norns, dwarf Norns and Vanir Norns, good Norns and bad Norns, and what your fate will be is decided by them. Some Norns give people good lives, and others give us hard lives, or short lives, or twisted lives. They will shape your fate there at Urd's well. Mimir's head and Odin's eye. In Jotunheim, the home of the giants, is Mimir's well. It bubbles up from deep in the ground, and it feeds Yggdrasil, the world tree. Mimir, the wise one, the guardian of memory, knows many things. His well is wisdom, and when the world was young, he would drink every morning from the well by dipping the horn known as Garedron. I butchered that. Gjallarhorn into the water and draining it. Long, long ago, when the worlds were young, Odin put on his long cloak and his hat, and in the guise of a wanderer he travelled through the land of the giants, risking his life to get to Mimir, to seek wisdom. 1 drink from the water of your well, Uncle Mimir, said Odin. That is all I ask for. Mimir shook his head. Nobody drank from the well but Mimir himself. He said nothing. Seldom do those who are silent make mistakes. I am your nephew, said Odin. My mother, Bestla, was your sister. That is not enough, said Mimir. 1 drink, with a drink from your well, Mimir. I will be wise. Name your price. Your eye is my price, said Mimir. Your eye in the pool. Odin did not ask if he was joking. The journey through giant country to get to Mimir's well had been long and dangerous. Odin had been willing to risk his life to get there, and was willing to do more than that for the white wisdom he sought. Odin's face was set. Give me a knife, was all he said. After he had done what was needful, he placed his eye carefully in the pool. It stared up at him through the water. Odin filled the Gjallarhorn with water from Mimir's pool, and he lifted it to his lips. The water was cold. He drained it down. Wisdom flooded into him. He saw farther and more clearly with his one eye than he did ever with two. Thereafter Odin was given other names. Blindir, they called him, the blind god, or Hor, the one-eyed, and Beireg, the flaming-eyed one. Odin's eye remained in Mimir's well, preserved by the waters that feed the world ash, seeing nothing, seeing everything. Time passed when the war between the Aesir and the Vanir was ending, and they were exchanging warriors and chiefs. Odin sent Mimir to the Vanir as an advisor to the Aesir god Hönir, who would be the new chief of the Vanir. Hönir was tall and good-looking, and he looked like a king. When Mimir was with him to advise him, Hönir also spoke like a king and made wise decisions. But when Mimir was not with him, Hönir seemed unable to come to a decision, and the Vanir soon tired of this. They took their revenge not on Hönir but on Mimir. They cut off Mimir's head and sent it to Odin. Odin was not angry. He rubbed Mimir's head with certain herbs to prevent it from rotting, and he chanted charms and incantations over it, for he did not wish Mimir's knowledge to be lost. So enough, Mimir opened his eyes and spoke to him. Mimir's advice was good, as it was always good. Odin took Mimir's head back to the well beneath the world tree, and he placed it there, beside his eye, in the waters of knowledge of the future and of the past. Odin gave the Gjallarhorn to Heimdall, watchman of the gods. On the day the Gjallarhorn is blown, it will wake the gods, no matter where they are, no matter how deeply they sleep. Heimdall will blow the Gjallarhorn only once, at the end of all things, at Ragnarok.